This video is for Pause and Practice 8-2. In this case, what you're doing is you're setting up a couple of data tables and also putting together kind of a forecast for a particular product. Now, the whole idea behind this is to give you more opportunities to do what-if analysis as far as, all right, so what if sales are such and such? What if expenses are something else? And so that you can kind of get an estimate as far as, all right, so what might our income be and this sort of thing. So what you're doing is, in Pause and Practice 2, you're going to your revenue worksheet. And what we're going to do is put together a one variable table. So what we're going to do is go to I3 here, all right? And what we're going to do is we're going to say this is equal to B15. So our total expenses here, all right? And we'll press enter. And then what we're going to do is go to J3. Say, all right, so what we're looking for here is equal to B17, the net income, and press enter. The whole idea behind this is saying, okay, what we're doing is we're setting a proportion. In other words, based on the proportion of what you're seeing here between expenses and income and that sort of thing, what would our expenses and income be if sales were 100,000 or 210 all the way down? So based on that, what we're saying is, all right, so we're going to go to our what-if analysis, and we're going to choose a data table. We're going to click the column input cell because what we're doing is we're saying, okay, what we want is this column is where the input will actually be. So we're going to the column input table. And what we want to do is we want to say B8. So total revenue, all right? We're going to click OK. Oh, wait a minute. What we need to do is we need to select I4. Okay, wait a minute. We're going to go, I forgot to select the H3 through J14. Okay, we're going to do our what-if analysis, data table. The column input is going to be B8. Okay, you can see that what happens is it's saying, okay, based on expenses of this compared to income of this is what we had as far as our actual, and then it's going to put together a proportional table. If sales are 100,000, total expenses should be about 78,000, and you'll get about 22,000 in net income. All the way up to, if sales were 200,000, our total expenses, based on the same proportion, should be about 156,000, and we should have net income of about $44,000. So that is that setting up a data table with a single variable. Now what we're going to do is set up a data table with two variables. So what we're doing is we're looking at what the possible expense levels could be versus revenue levels. What we're going to do is we're going to start here. All right. So we're going to select cell H17. We're going to say that is equal to B17. So in other words, our net income. What we're doing is we're looking for net income numbers based on various expense and income levels. So we're going to say B17. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to select cells H17 through P30. So in other words, the entire table, including the expenses and the revenue. We're going to go to our what-if analysis, data table. Now the row input cell, okay, in other words, here's the row. What do we want to use for the reference for that? That is going to be B15, expenses. The column input cell, in other words, for this thing here, all right, is going to be B8. We click on OK. And you should see what it does is it then puts together a table that says, all right, if revenue is 100,000 and expenses are 90,000, you're going to get 10,000 as far as revenue. Okay, that seems simple enough. I mean, that's obvious as far as just doing the math. And you'll see where you have where expenses and revenue are the same, you'll have zeros in there. And in the instructions, it's telling you to go through and format and that sort of thing. So now what it's doing is it's saying, okay, wait a minute, let's make something that's a little bit more realistic based on this situation here. So what we're going to do is we're going to select cell I-17, and we're going to put in 75,000 in there. Okay? We're going to select cell J17 and put in 80,000 in there. What we're going to do then is utilize Excel's smartness to take that entire row and adjust it based on that. So what it did was it added 5,000 to each of them, all the way up to 110,000. So what you have now is a data table that's saying that's a little bit more realistic. If sales are based on this percentage right here, in other words, what percentage net income is of the sales and the expenses. If you have expense levels of this level and you have revenue of this level, what's going to be your income? What's going to be your net? So in other words, you can see that if our expenses go up to 85,000, but our sales only say about 100,000, we're only going to make about $15,000 in net. This is a great way to say, okay, to play what if, and it can give you some ideas as far as, all right, so this is what we're shooting for as far as a particular net income. So what do we need to do as far as our expenses are concerned, or what do we need to do as far as the top level is concerned? Again, what it does is it gives you information so that you can start making some decisions on things. Now what you want to do is put together a worksheet that's going to kind of show you graphically what's going to happen as far as a projection or a forecast. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Product 101, and we're going to select cells A4 through B28. Okay. We're going to click on Forecast Sheet. That's up here. So again, it's under Data, under your Forecast. So your Forecast Sheet. All right. And what we want to do is create a line chart, which is what it actually did right there. Very simple. And puts it in. And the instructions in the book has, okay, so you want to format it a certain way, things like that. You go for it. What it also will do is give you that forecast going forward. All right, based on some of the months that you had before, going forward for another 6 months. So that's how you put together a forecast sheet. So that's it for Pause and Practice 8.2. If you have questions, please give me a shout.